It is called known as the law of karma, which we're gonna talk about that today. These two laws, the law of nature, you must aging, you must dying, or whatever happened by natural cause. This is the law of nature. Therefore, these laws are non-human made. When it's not made by human, of course, we cannot control them, but we must submit to them. But if we break the law, what's gonna happen? Yes, just like any other law, when you break it, you're gonna get punished. That is something that you must be careful. Now, in the point of view about the law of nature, first of all, we just already learned it's inconsistent or impermanent. It is dissatisfaction or discontentment, and it is not belong to us. In other words, not self. We cannot control, own it at all. It is the nature that happened to our life currently. We know it, yes, but we just don't know how to put them. And we have already put them in Buddhist point of view already. These are three laws of nature that we cannot escape. It happened since the day we were born until we die. And the law of karma, it is the law of cause and effect. Whatever one do, it will have result or action. So that's whenever you are doing something, whether they are positive or negative, it will produce its reaction back to you, no matter what. And we're gonna talk about that in detail today. Okay, the law of karma. The law of karma here. One thing to be noted, the Buddha only discovered it. He did not create it. Repeat, the Buddha discovered, not created. Understood? Therefore, it is something to be noted. So can he run away from this law? Can he change the law? Because he did not create it. Therefore, he also get punished by that need too. For example, whenever he go in one town, people don't like him. So they make a news, a rumor about say bad thing, or they even frame him that he murdered someone too. So when someone asks, why don't you run away? The Buddha said, well, this is my own action that I have done in my previous existence. Now it's give it food delivered to me. I cannot run away from it. I must accepting it because it's from my own previous action that I had done the same thing in the past too. Therefore, even the Buddha cannot run away from his own action. It is the law of reason and logic. If you know the cause, you will know the effect. Just like you throw a ball, the ball bounces back at you as the same as the force that you throw at it. Therefore, every action give its fruit or having its consequence. This is the law of karma. So now, when we know that it is the law of cause and effect, every action we perform, it delivers its fruit back to us in time. Just similarly, when you plant a tree, let's say you plant a mango. The tree, you plant a mango. Do you think you're gonna get a banana out of mango, Mr. Paul? Of course not. Therefore, you don't get banana out of mango. Same thing. But sometimes when you plant a mango, it takes 2 years. But when you plant a banana, it takes 1 year. So that's each time when the karma delivers its fruit, it doesn't have, or it doesn't tell when it's gonna give its fruit. But you can only know that sooner or later it will come. But if you pass away before it's gonna deliver its fruit, it's gonna continue into the next lifetime as well. That is how it works. In Buddhist concept about death is that death is not the end. You just change the form from one realm into the other realm. Therefore, in the other realm, you will continue to receive your consequence as well. This is how the karma works. So, By this, taking a look at the definition of the karma first. What does it mean? Some people, oh, I already know karma. Yeah, but mostly people only know in its negative effect, not its true meaning. The true meaning of it is that karma, written in Sanskrit as karma, is an action with intention or intentional action. In other words, when you intend, decide to do something, that is karma. But if you don't have any intention, for example, you're walking on the street where there are many people, but you just carelessly hitting your shoulder on someone else, you don't have intention. Is that karma? Nope. It is not karma because it is not an action with intention. Therefore, it would not deliver its fruit as strong as it is with intention. But will it have its fruit? It will. But when you receive the consequence, it will be unintentional too. Everything has consequence, just like I mentioned. So when it's karma, for example, in here, you are what you eat. You like your sandwich and hamburger. Yes, you're gonna be like this boy. Yes, you are what you eat, for example. Kamma are just like that. And now, if you understand on this matter, then you could understand now that who you are today, what you have done in the past is the result of that. So you become rich, you become smart, you become healthy. It's all from the result of when you were young, how you plan your life. It's all the result of that. Therefore, it is something that we know. But is it all? No, there are more than that. Here, let's take a look in here. For example, you yourself is the result of your past karma. For example, by studying hard, you become clever because you study. But if you don't remember anything, you won't be clever. But as a fruit of its effort, if you study in a way that can make its fruit, you could have, for example, some people study math, but they don't really get anything out of it. But they working very hard to learn math, even though they do not good at math. But one thing they're gonna get in return out of that, even though they don't have a good grade in math, is you have your effort, you have your perseverance, you have your patience, study to learn, accumulate more and more. You become very diligent person. So no matter how hard work that you were responsibility for, you will have the strength and intention to continue when it's to make it success and finish. This is study hard. Okay, or if you're working hard, you could also become wealthy, but you have to do it right too. Otherwise, you will not be wealthy. Therefore, it has to be working hard. But this is just simple example. Okay, don't think too hard, like I mentioned before. Training hard, you become healthy. You exercise. So therefore, but if you do too much, you could die. So take it very carefully into at the right amount. Okay. Now, what about the negative karma? This is what people normally understand about karma. When it's mentioned about the karma, they only think of it as negative consequence. So therefore, if you are lazy, of course, you're not going to be smart and you're not going to be successful because you are lazy. Or if you are doing some kind of illegal work, of course, you will be famous, but famous in the wrong way, or even worse, is getting caught by the police. But if you can escape, who knows how long can you escape? Even though at the time you are very powerful, but when your lucks turn down, you may have caught in because of your bad karma come to deliver its fruit to you. Therefore, be careful. And if you are using drugs, you become unhealthy. This is something that giving a simple example to understand about the negative karma. However, is that all? Well, the karma is still playing around because the thing that difficult to understand about the karma is when it's going to deliver its fruit. When we only can see what in the present, what in front of us, This is how the nature of human are like. They only believe, they only trust, and they only see what their eyes see. If their eye do not see, they do not believe or trust. Therefore, when talking about the karma to the people with this simple logic, it will be difficult for them to understand. Or when they try to think too much, it will be quite difficult too. But one thing for sure, just remember that whatever action we perform, it will come back to us. Now, as for this, what about the karma that giving you effect for your future? It is something that it is quite, I would call difficult to mention as well, because in the future we don't know what is going to happen, but we know for sure if we do something, it's going to come back to us, whether they are good or bad. So therefore, for the future effect, if you have a right partner, you have a good family, or if you have investment, you have a fortune, or if you have insurance, you have security for your life. It is something simple that karma can also give its effect. But life is not simple just like that, right? Sometimes good, sometimes bad. That is because we don't know for certain. Because that is why that its future is beyond our control. But we can direct it. If we want our fruit, our life to be prosper, we continue to do only good deed. But along the way, we facing some difficulty in life, knowing that the karma in the past deliver its fruit, gladly accept and move on. So whenever the time comes, what you have done good in the present will deliver its fruit in the future as well. And this is how it works. So as the result that can be expected, well, simple put term, as common term we know, as one saw, one reaps. What we reap today is the result of what have sown before. Although one may not believe, at least one will be happy in this life as long as you are continuing to do the good deed. It could be sound like vague. It's fate, isn't it? Well, fate is something that you can also have your free will to choose, right? It's not this time. It could happen, but if you choose to do, you can choose as well. This are called so-called exit in your own life. When you have choice to do, that's the karma for you to choose. Therefore, everyone, choose carefully, choose only positive. And this is how the karma works, just like in the picture as an example. You see, like the lady, yeah, they take selfie. No, I don't think it's selfie. Someone take a photo. Yeah, and it's come back to you just like that. Now, when we talk about karma and deliver fruit, I think we understand now in simple term example. What about the kind of karma that does what show what it is? People normally understand that karma in a negative way, but in fact, there are three kinds. They are positive, negative, and neutral. Positive, it is something with positive intention. Negative is negative intention, and neutral is you have no intention, but you act it either way. It is something that show you the three kind of karma. Okay, and now, how does it giving effect in each kind of karma? Of course, simple, positive karma giving positive effect. Negative karma giving negative effect. Also, neutral karma give nothing that affect your life, but it will come because it's karma. For example, just like I told you, you're walking on the street, you don't have intention, but along the way, it's crowded, it's so many people on the street, and your shoulder hit someone. As a result, when you walk on the street somewhere in the future, someone will hit you too in the same thing, but you don't mind to it because you have intention to it. That's why it's produced nothing. Okay. And how does the karma create though? As it is now, karma created through body, speech, and thought. Yes, even the thought create karma. If you're thinking bad about someone, yes, that karma will be effect. But it just only once, then it's nothing much. But imagine if they're thinking about that I want to kill this person every single day, every single minute. It could become result very bad as well, because everything create the result. Therefore, whether it's thought, speech, and body, it has effect. So this is why our mind is so important, because in our nature as a human being, think, then speak, speak, then act. So if these three are produced in negative way, the thought is the mind thinking of negative way to do something evil. From thinking, speaking, and acting, it all go down evil. That's gonna produce a negative effect in one's life at all time until that karma is over. Okay, so therefore be careful. So when it's created through body, speech, and mind, well, this is how you put our life, body, speech, and mind in a good way. Is they call this 5 acts of discipline. In Buddhist term, they call this as the 5 precepts or sila, which means normal. The normal quality of people is they do not kill someone, they do not steal from anyone, they do not cheat on their loved one, or stealing or raping someone they don't know or they know, and they do not tell lies. Each person honest to each other, and last but not least, they do not take drugs or intoxicant into the body, because everyone want to be healthy. So this is the common. If you can maintain yourself at least this, it will saving yourself from committing bad karma through body and speech. But it's not enough though, because our mind is the source of all actions, whether they are speech and our body's action. So when it's happened like this, everyone, meditation can help your mind turn into neutral state and even feel into positive way if you do it correctly. So therefore, practice meditation, gain your mind in control. Practice of observing precept, keeping your body speech in control. Therefore, you will not making your life be more difficult than it is now. It is something that need to be noted of. And so, karma justification. How do you know which is positive, which is negative? Because people, according to their culture, according to their society, each place is different. And how do you know which is good and bad? Well, for karma, in Buddhist perception, in Buddhist point of view about the karma justification, is go by like this. Positive and negative effect. Okay, whatever action that cause trouble for you and troubles other, that's considered as negative. But for some people, they may not think so. For example, if they are a criminal, stealing from some people, robbing from the bank, they become rich. Who cares? They are happy. Can you count that they're doing good deed? For us, we understand that it's bad, but for them, they're happy. It's good. So this is why it needs to be justified. That's whatever trouble you and trouble others, don't do them. That's negative. Also, if you trouble yourself, but making other people happy, that's also not good neither. For example, if you are a bully, you will bully someone, and that someone, he is not happy to do it, but he can make you happy. Oh, that's not good, right? So a person who become a bully, they will not be happy, but for you, you're happy, and therefore, everyone, not good neither. It's negative. Yourself happy and trouble others, don't do them. It's the same thing, same example as the bully. But this in case of the person who bully. The other case that I mentioned are the case of the person who get bullied. But the action that is considered positive only in this. Yourself happy, other happy, and that is positive. But some may say, whoa, venerable, that's not easy, you know. Well, better understand this first. But to do that, try to make it less effect. So that way you will be not affected by the negative karma much. But if you can do it to make yourself happy, I'm happy to help everyone. And then when you help it and people are happy too. Therefore, this is something. For example, here, I have my staff. Okay. And my staff are busy with their work. Yes. And I asked them to help. But they said, oh, venerable, I'm too busy. I cannot help you. So I asked them, can you at least do this much? You don't have to do all. Oh, I can do that. I'm happy to help. You are happy. They are happy. Do them. Something like that. But if, oh, I cannot do it all, then you don't need to force them. You can ask someone else or do it yourself if you can. It is something that you need to be making some compromise too. So this way, you won't make other people trouble. Remember, our life already trouble as it is. So you don't have to make it more complicated, right? Now, from the result of the action. Is go by your feeling when you are doing the whether they are positive or negative. So by doing something, whether it's gonna be good or bad karma, it need to be considered is the feeling. It's kind of like you put yourself into someone else's shoes. Remember that. This is why in Asian culture, they have one thing that into their culture, deep root in their society, that's very difficult to change. It is called being considerate. Being considerate. Before they're gonna say something, they know it's the truth, but they know that if they say it, it's gonna hurt someone's feeling. They won't say it. This is called being considerate. But in the West, it's the truth. It doesn't matter. I must say it because it's my feeling. I want to express it. Therefore, they go straight to it. They're not being considerate. That is hurt someone else's feeling. It's like that. Therefore, this is something that need to be taken into account. When we do something and there is result in the future, it is positive. Okay, I think I need to move this a little bit because it cover my view. How do you do this? Well, never mind that. I think you can read that. All right. And any action may seem fun, but bring result in the future in the negative is you don't do them. In other words, put it simple, like I mentioned in conclusion. Put yourselves into someone else's shoes. Therefore, be considerate before they do anything. This will help you save yourself from negative karma. But if you think too much, make yourself suffer, be careful too. That's not going to be a good karma for yourself neither, okay? It's because you hurt yourself. So be honest. Well, venerable, I don't feel good about doing this. Please, I cannot do this. You can also reject. But reject in a polite manner, in a way that you don't hurt other people's feeling. Okay? From the cause of the action. An action that arising from greed, anger, and delusion. These are something that is already negative, so don't do it. This is the result. Consider by the result. For any action that arrives and turn it to be positive, making yourself be happy and other happy with a smile on their face. This is something that purify both case their mind happy. This is positive result than doing it. Okay. Now, as far as it is, therefore, who you are today is what you have done in the past. We already mentioned on this path, but there are things to be considered because life is not the end. When it is not the end, there are much more than that. There are journey today too. So who you are today, like since you were born, is the result of the people around you can help shaping you into a person who you are today. So that's your family. Okay. and also your past life. If you have a good karma in the past, like for example, you are a good parents who raise your children, teaching them good and bad, so they become good person in their society. So as a result, when you reborn as a human being, you will be born in a good family. That's the result of your past lifetime. And in the present lifetime, when you reborn in a good family, they will raise you up into a person who you are, become a good and gentle person, kindness, depend on how you were raised. Therefore, as it is now, when you consider into this account, life is not the end. Therefore, that's the karma that we done in this present will also be deliver its fruit in the next lifetime as well. That is why it is better to do only good deeds. Therefore, in the present, we can be happy. In the future lifetime, we can also be happy. And the future lifetime after we reborn again, we can also happy too. This is why the karma is also considered to be taken into account. So simple word, simple term about the law of karma. Put yourself into someone else's shoes. Simple as that. Now, if your karma will affect your future, yes, it will. Your future lifetime, how it's gonna be, is because it's your present. You can think of this as your insurance. If you want to be healthy, you don't hurt someone. If you want to be rich, you're making saving up your money right now, so you can have more income and more money left in the future. So that's therefore, the present is what creates the future, but not in this present life alone, but for future lifetime as well. It is something to be taken accounted on. That is why it's so complex, because we don't see our future. Some people don't believe, they just believe that I just make myself be happy now. That's it. Is that all right? It's even good because you are happy and you don't make other people happy. That's in this present life, you're happy. But as a result of your good deed, no matter what, you don't believe in the future lifetime as a other after you pass away, it's gonna deliver its fruit anyway. So if you're doing good, it's gonna be win-win for you. But if you are not doing good deed now, well, in the future you could be suffer because of the consequence from there. You may be happy in the present because you satisfy what you are now, but in the future it will not be happy. Do you want that? No one want that, right? We want to be happy. So it need to be in the present and the future so it can connect. Therefore, take this into account. That's karma making us become different, because our action in the present now is always different. That's why we were born different, everyone. Some born intelligent, some born wealthy, some born healthy, because they have done good deed in their past, and that's a result. Some have a really short lifespan, some have a long lifespan. This is why, because it's different, because the action once performed in the past, in the previous existence, is different, and each individual is also different. That is why we don't look the same. Some short, some tall, some fat, some thin. That is why we are all different. But it's all from the result of no one's karma, ourselves alone. Thus, it is something that you need to take note on in Buddhist perspective. But the karma is continue endlessly. Why does it continue endlessly? Because in our mind, we are not purified yet. The thing that causing us to produce karma are these three things, as you may see on this diagram here. One is the defilements, the black circle. Defilements causing one's mind to create bad karma. When one creates bad karma, it creates the retribution of the bad karma. And as the retribution of the bad karma produce its result, is making us feeling suffer. That create more defilements in our mind, and we create more bad karma. Just like when you kill someone and someone else come to take the revenge on you, you were not killed, but you survive. You want to take the revenge again, so you do more bad karma to the other person. So that person want to avenge you again. It become endless cycle like that. It's never end. The only way to remove yourself from this endless cycle of karma is you must purify your mind. In other words, remove defilements out of your mind. Only then karma will stop giving its result, and you can end your action of suffering and find yourself everlasting happiness. And so everyone, by remove the defilements from our mind, which are greed, anger, ignorance, or delusion. These are the defilements that deep rooted is from our mind the moment when we were born, and it stay with us across our lifetime because it is deeply rooted in our mind, and we cannot see them neither, but we can only see them. We can only feel them when it's giving its effect. For example, you see a diamond, very big loud diamond. You really want it. Yes, the greed in your mind, stirring up, making your mind become, losing its clarity, turn into darkness, and making you to do evil by committing a crime of stealing that diamond. And as a result of distribution, you become caught by the police and you put into jail. But when you see something else in jail, you want to steal again. Therefore, it's endless cycle like that. Therefore, the only way to do that is you must get rid of these three. Only then you will free yourself from the cycle of karma. And so, everyone, now we come to the conclusion. In other words, we are the designer of our own future, and everyone has their own choice and is responsible for designing your own life as well. Thus, you have choice. You can do better for the future to yourself. Now, as it is, what does it have to do with the metrics that you just watched earlier? Remember, everyone, you have choice. Red pill or blue pill. You can choose to accept this, believe this or not. It is up to you. But your choice in the future of your life, it belongs to you alone. Therefore, if you want to break out from these metrics, well, you're gonna have to remove the karma, everyone. And how to do that? Meditate. Come to join NLP Sunday every day in NLP's daily, so you can find yourself breaking the metrics anytime soon. If it's not in this present, it could be in the future, but never stop trying, because the moment when you stop trying, you're just like a dead person already because you're giving up. But if you don't giving up, you will continue to progress, and one day in the future, you'll be able to break the metric just like in the movie, getting out from the matrix world. So everyone, that is the Buddhist knowledge I'd like to share with you today. However, before we're gonna end our session, is there anyone has a question? Now this is the time. Right? Okay, we got some question. Okay, all right. Just one moment. Let me check on the chat. All right. If this were you, which pill will you take? All right. All right. Well, you can watch this again in the movie. Okay, red pill or blue pill. The thing about that is, I'm not trying to force this for you to believe. Just I mentioned earlier, this is the Buddhist knowledge that one can choose to believe and follow. If one follow, one can find this is more reasonable. And if it is, then one can follow the practice. If it's not, well, just know one thing. If you do good deed, it could secure your life in the future. Take it or leave it like that. So this way, everyone want to be happy too. So this is something that you can use for your own judgment. Therefore, hopefully this can help you provide. But what does it have to do with the Buddhist cosmology that we are about to study again next week? Well, everyone, One thing for sure, life after death is not the end. We will continue even though we die. But what is the afterworld look like in Buddhist perspective? For sure, we will find that out, and it had something to do with the karma that we learned today. So take note, and we will continue again next time, everyone. If there is no question, then are you sure? All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you for staying with me. I know you are hungry. I don't know if you are having breakfast. Yes, Eileen. But for me, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm sleepy. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you again next week. But hey, next week, just want to make clarify for everyone who are regular now. The thing is, next week we will have Inner Peace Sunday at the same time, and then we will have this Buddhist knowledge, Buddhist cosmology. But then in your time in the evening, which is 8:30 Thailand time, there will be full moon of peace. So come join us on Zoom too. Okay. This time there will be a volunteer from United States to come help joining and making the event more enjoyable. So therefore, everyone, see you again next week, and thank you for joining in our Buddhist knowledge. If you like, if you're interested to learn other things, we can set up a Zoom meeting like this again. Therefore, let us know what you like to learn. When maybe we can help prepare this for you guys later on. But this is very deep. In fact, I plan to teach this in level 3. But since you already learned this, maybe it's a good review for next time when you come back again. So everyone, thank you for joining. Now, Mr. Paul, I'll give my mic to you now.
Thank you, Lampu. It's very interesting. I actually wrote some things down. So thank you so much. And thank you everybody for joining as well. Before we go, I'll invite everybody to say thank you and pay respect to our teaching monk before we depart. So if you like to, you can unmute your microphone. And together we'll bow and say Namaskar.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Sorry. I need everyone to smile before we go. We have to get the happy snap. Sorry, I couldn't let you get away this time.
Snap.
So we'll do it real quick. You ready? Give us a big smile. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and great work. Thank you all so much. Okay, I'll let you all go. Have a good day and a good night. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good day. See you again
Bye.
next week.
See you.
Next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.